Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. In the 10th episode of Season 12 of When Calls the Heart, titled Through the Valley, viewers were confronted with a poignant storyline, Little Jack Thornton's diagnosis of diabetes. This narrative development has sparked discussions among fans regarding its medical accuracy and the portrayal of diabetes during the historical period depicted in the series. The episode begins with Elizabeth teaching her class, noticing that little Jack has fallen asleep during lessons. Concerned about his unusual fatigue, she discusses her worries with Nathan, attributing it to possible late-night reading. Later, while playing baseball, little Jack goes missing and is found unconscious in the woods by Nathan. He is rushed to the infirmary, where Dr. Faith Carter observes symptoms such as excessive thirst, frequent urination, constant hunger, and dizziness. These observations lead her to suspect diabetes, a diagnosis later confirmed by test results. The series is set in the early 20th century, a time when diabetes was a life-threatening condition with limited treatment options. Insulin therapy, the primary treatment for diabetes, was not discovered until 1921 by Dr. Frederick Banting and Charles Best. Before this breakthrough, diabetes management relied on strict dietary restrictions, which were largely ineffective in controlling the disease's progression. The show accurately reflects this historical reality, as characters acknowledge the lack of a cure during that era. The introduction of Little Jack's diabetes diagnosis elicited strong reactions from the When Calls the Heart fan community. Many expressed outrage and concern over the storyline, fearing for the character's well-being given the historical context. Discussions on social media platforms highlighted fans' emotional responses, with some questioning the necessity of introducing such a grave illness for a beloved character. From a medical standpoint, the symptoms exhibited by little Jack, fatigue, excessive thirst, frequent urination, increased hunger, and dizziness, are consistent with those of diabetes mellitus. The progression of his symptoms, leading to unconsciousness, aligns with severe hypoglycemia or diabetic ketoacidosis, both serious complications of unmanaged diabetes. Dr. Faith Carter's diagnostic process and the subsequent confirmation of diabetes reflect a medically accurate portrayal of the disease's identification during that time period. Introducing a diabetes diagnosis for little Jack adds a layer of depth to the series, highlighting the medical challenges of the era and the emotional toll on families. It underscores the limited medical interventions available and the reliance on community support in managing health crises. This storyline also opens avenues for character development, particularly in showcasing Elizabeth's resilience and the Hope Valley community's solidarity. The depiction of little Jack's diabetes diagnosis in When Calls the Heart aligns with historical and medical realities of the early 20th century. While the storyline has stirred strong emotions among fans, it serves to illustrate the hardships faced by individuals with chronic illnesses during a time of limited medical advancements. The series continues to balance historical accuracy with compelling narratives, prompting viewers to reflect on the evolution of medical science and the enduring human spirit. In the most recent episode of WCTH Season 12, Episode 10, Through the Valley, Hardys were shocked to learn that little Jack, Elizabeth, and the late Jack Thornton's son has diabetes. Now, in the preview for the next episode, Having Faith, me and Mike rush off to get medicine for little Jack's diabetes. However, Harveys are quite outraged over the course of events. Many are asking whether the diabetes story is accurate. Here is what they have to say. The upcoming WCTH Season 12 Episode 11, Having Faith, is about little Jack getting insulin for his diabetes. While diabetes can be managed in 2025, some Hardys on social media were side-eyeing the diabetes story. Is this story true to the era? I think they're going with history here. Lazy writing, but insulin was invented in 1921 in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. As a parent with type 1 diabetes, my wife and I are very side-eye to this plot and storyline. 1922 was the year insulin was created. What year was the show set in? I am sure they will make Little Jack all about insulin as life-changing from 1922. Sure, he will get what he needs. When insulin therapy was in its early stages, a child diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, then called juvenile diabetes, had a very low chance of living a long life. Many would likely not live beyond their teens, with about 90% dying within 5 years. But with advancement in insulin therapy, people with type 1 diabetes now live into their 50s and beyond. I'm not happy with the diabetes story. Type 1 diabetes does not go away, and even with insulin in mid-1900s it was a difficult life for patient and family. If they play it accurately, their lives would be ruled by the disease for the rest of the show unless they happen to die, and I really doubt they do that. One of the big question marks for these Hardys is the WCTH timing. There has not been a real firm date except the early 1920s. This is also based on Elizabeth's bobbed hair, which is a 1920s hairstyle, and the Charleston, which was prominent this season. Already, Hardys determined that dance is inaccurate to this time period. But what year is it? Firstly, the series started in 1910 when Elizabeth arrived to Coal Valley. Now it is 12 seasons later. Therefore, the best estimate is that it is 1922, and insulin was around. Insulin researchers Frederick Banting, Charles Best, and John MacLeod, all Canadian researchers, invented this in 1921. But it is not sure if Little Jack could have been receiving this treatment in 1922, as he was a child. But this is Hallmark world, where people don't pay for their hot chocolates. This has never been a historically accurate series. Therefore, there is no reason for viewers to insist that the writers tell a more realistic story. WCTH Season 12 airs on Sunday nights on the Hallmark Channel. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.